What is going on, legends? Today we are going to be doing a little bit of an interview video with Thomas O'Halloran. Thomas made a multiple six-figure exit from his previous landscaping company, turned SaaSpreneur with GoHighLevel, and now is making thousands of dollars by building custom apps and software for his clients and other people by using Bolt.new. Everything that we talk about in this video and everything that's happening right now was not possible 7 months ago. So if you are new to this whole no-code software building world and you're coming from the GoHighLevel community, this is something that you really are going to want to pay attention to because things are happening really fast and you need to keep up or else you will get left behind. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thomas, thank you for your time. Let's get right into it. What's going on, man? So you have built basically a lead, like a lead intake form built in Bolt here. And I figured I'd kind of get you on and kind of ask you some questions about, what got you into this? How did you build it? How difficult was it? And kind of maybe answer some questions that other people might have about this.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'll start off by saying it doesn't matter what you're using, if it's Lovable or if it's Bolt or if it's another no-code AI tool. It's kind of like Chevy and Ford. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to be minorly different in certain ways, right? So it's kind of find one, use it, and when you're using it, you're going to get used to that, and then you'll just have your preference. But as far as how I originally got into this is I have a high-level SaaS, right? So I white-labeled a high-level SaaS, and my background is home service-based businesses. So for the last 10 years, I've been in the home service industry. I started off with a landscaping company, and I owned that for about 8 years and then sold that. After we reached a certain amount of annual profit, we were able to sell on a multiple. And then after that, what I ended up doing was getting into the online space, right? And I said, well, so how do I still provide service to people even though I'm not getting my hands dirty anymore?
Yeah.
Well, I can work with landscapers and other contractors. So I ended up starting a business called Six Figure Landscaper, where I built an app that basically taught the landscapers how to bid for profit and make sure that they were always going to be, profitable when they came out with a price. I didn't really know how that was going to go. It was kind of one of those first, let's see how this goes kind of thing. I got a ClickFunnels account, and then I just shot out some Facebook ads, and the thing went bonkers.
That's cool.
It just went bonkers. Yeah. So we ended up getting just a little over 1,200 paying clients within the first 6 months, and it went really well. And I kind of thought that was it. I was like, all right, I built the app. That's all I can really do now. Right. There's really nowhere else to take this unless I were to have a continuity plan where they're paying monthly or if I just start building more products, right, and selling it to them and then do the coaching thing. And I do coaching, but I'm not a big fan of, the group coach method. And so I wanted a different solution. So last spring, almost exactly a year from today, I think it was the beginning of May, I was approached by a guy that wanted to purchase that online business. And so he purchased that from me. And then that's right when I started getting into high level and figuring out what was possible. And when I found high level and found that you can do things called custom menu links, right? That's when literally everything changed. Because a custom menu link is anything you want that's linked, right? As long as it's a clean URL, iframed within the software. So everything that I build, and I'll show you kind of an example, is iframed from Bolt.new and completely, built by yours truly, minus the things that just come with the skeleton of high level.
Yep. That's a smart move. That's very smart. And all you're doing in simple terms is taking the software and just putting it to be accessible inside of basically your customers' high-level accounts.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. So this right here that you see, this is going to be a new dashboard that's going to just be a little cleaner, a little bit more user-friendly, something a little less daunting to look at right when they log in, right?
Yeah.
So I have task sheet. If I want to fire Tony, I'm going to cross that off and it's going to go here. I'll approve the recurring invoices. These are all just really simple dashboard tasks, right? And then some quick links that'll hook me up to other services in the software. Now, if I switch over to here, I'm going to show you exactly what these look like in real time. So, and Skylar, I think you're familiar with this with the iframes, but when I say iframe, everything that is inside the left side menu and the top dashboard bar, okay? Yep. That's what an iframe is. And it basically takes everything out and it just puts it right inside here. So I'll go to my first iframe, which is the bidding system. So this is actually a little on steroids from what I originally offered back, 3 years ago when I started this. But this is now iframed, and this entire piece of application was built inside of Bolt, right?
Right.
So you want to see how this works and kind of how it would work for landscapers in my case?
Yeah, I think a good thing to kind of like get people to know about is, why did you feel the need to build this outside piece of software and then plug it back into your HighLevel? Absolutely.
And I think this really dives into when people are struggling to sell their SaaS, right?
Mm-hmm.
They say, hey, I'm going in front, I'm showing everybody all of these features and everything that this thing can do, but nobody's interested.
Right.
Well, you're not really solving that problem, right? You have to be able to solve a problem. And when you solve a problem and offer it to them in a solution like this, right, where someone pays us monthly to be able to use the service, they will gladly give you money. But you have to be able to solve a problem. So in this case, I was in the landscaping field, and I know far well that majority of the people in the landscaping field that are under a certain revenue point really struggle with profitable bidding. They don't know how to start. They don't know where to go. They're constantly asking online in Facebook groups, hey, what would you charge for this? What would you charge for that? Okay. And so that's how my original idea a few years ago came. And then that's why I knew when I was moving over to HighLevel and building out my software that I had to have this inside of HighLevel. And I had to put it on steroids and really make it attractive, right?
Yeah. No, it totally makes sense.
Yeah. So you're solving a problem. These that I'll go down, because these are all custom menu links that I built out here on the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, you got quite a few down there.
Oh, yeah. And there's more to come, but these are all solving a certain problem for a specific niche. The riches are in the niches.
That's right.
Try to be too broad. It's not that money's not in being broad, but it's more so if I can nail down landscapers that are making under $200,000 a year, which is what I do, right? They have to be under that revenue point. Otherwise they don't want this.
Right.
So I'm focusing on them. If you can nail down and you know exactly what they're doing on a Tuesday afternoon and where they're going out to eat and how many kids they have and, the time they sit down on the couch and put their feet up and start scrolling Facebook, that is what you need to know. You need to get inside their heads and see what do they physically need.
Right.
And these people need this. So I built it. Real quick before I do this demo, this build took me roughly 40 minutes.
40 minutes. So from idea to completely working, functioning tool, 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Which is insane now. Because
it's absolutely insane. So this, if I wanted to do something of this quality prior to the code builders, I would be looking at weeks. Right. And because I'm a single dad of 3 daughters, right? I don't have time.
Yeah.
But I built it in 40 minutes, in between baths kind of thing. So it's like such a lifesaver. Literally anything's possible now.
Yeah.
But I'll show you kind of briefly how this works. This is connected to Google API, right? So what that means is I'm pulling off of Google's, an API is picture a neighborhood. The softwares are the houses and the sidewalk is the API. Basically just connects them door to door, right? It's how one thing talks to another thing.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, that's the best way. I don't remember where I heard that from when I was learning about APIs, but that's how it came out, right?
There you go.
So again, so this is just like a normal map. I mean, guys can do whatever they need to. I'm going to just do a really quick measurement here. Say this is grass right here. It's not, but you get the picture. I'm clicking, dragging, and dropping, right? And so what this does is it measures the square footage, okay? So it has area 1 lawn, right? It's 7,387 square feet, shows how much acreage there is. Now what this does is populate automatically all of these tabs here except for the snow plowing tab, okay? So what that means is that they don't have to input the square footage. I just removed another task for them. It's gonna go down here. Production rates, just how long it takes them to do it. Their hourly rate, they're probably going to be higher to about $125. And then I have a profit margin slider here that I can just kind of move this, right? And then they can just physically see this job's going to take me about, 0.37 hours. It's going to be $67 per cut. And my annual cost is going to be $1,764 for this client, because I'm going to cut it at this rate 26 times, right? So, awesome. I mean, it's super simple. This is just spreadsheet math, but it's not in a spreadsheet.
Right.
You can look at the spreadsheet and it's ugly. You can look at this, it looks pretty.
You give people an interface to work with. And like you mentioned, like you're removing tasks from your clients where they normally would have to either outsource to like some other tool that maybe does this, but now they have it inside of their own account, which they're already paying you monthly for. And now you can either, if you wanted to, I don't know what you're doing on your side, but you can upsell this as another selling point for more monthly recurring revenue. Or, it's an added bonus and they're going to love that because, again, it's all in one, which is awesome, dude. This is cool.
There's so many different ways to roll with it. We are working on something that, once we deploy it, it will be an added bonus to what they're already paying for. This comes with every account right now. So, if they have to do their weed control, all of that square footage is auto-populated. The irrigation, we know how big the lawn area is, right? Seasonal cleanup, same thing. You're going to laugh here. So you can kind of be a little fun in these no-code builders. So watch what happens when I press the snow plowing button. It says there's no money like snow money. Now, for someone that has plowed snow for almost 20 years of his life, plowing snow, some of the best money you'll ever make in your entire life.
Super profitable.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's fun because you built it yourself. So you can do, if you want to put fun things in there, if you want to make it, you can do whatever you want with it because this is yours.
Exactly. And so I just wanted a little piece of me in here and I did that, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
So this is just kind of a brief rundown of this. I mean, plug and play bidding system. Now I solved their problem, right? That we talked about in the beginning. They now know how to bid. And now they can do it consistently every single time. Yep. So they know they're making money. And they could do this while they're on the phone with the client and give them an actual price within, I don't know, how long did that take me? Like
30
a minute
seconds.
And a half. And I was talking to you doing it, right?
Yeah. Super easy.
Yeah. A couple things that I've added. And if you're watching and you've been on GoHighLevel, there's not really a time clock system, things like that. And I'm not going to sign into these, but I've also added a time clock system that integrates with GoHighLevel as well. We do have a sign in for this just because there is some authentication with the employees on there. Yep. But this is really simple and it just helps track your time. I'll talk about webhooks in just a second. Chemical tracking here, basically just the same thing. It's going to track all the chemical usage that we have to have. Something really simple that somebody could build in about 2 minutes on Lovable or Dev, or Lovable or Bolt is a chat bot. Like, just put your own chat bot in here. Yeah. Right? I have this bot completely trained on landscaping and snow removal, right? So if they want to say, hey, how do I build a retaining wall? They're not going to, but you could. It's going to walk you through the steps on like, hey, this is how you're going to do it. Or how do I deal with a disgruntled client? Whatever. It's another option to have where if they don't want to, the longer I can keep them in this software and not going into different windows, the better.
That's right.
Because what that does is it shows adoption. If they can adopt my software, I will hold the retention and my churn will be low. Couple more things. Measure mate. This is kind of like what you just saw. This doesn't do anything else other than just measure. So if you needed to measure something, and then an actual like really in-depth costing calculator that has graphs, and it's pretty good. And it just kind of really dives deep into like labor projections, labor tasks, materials, subcontractors, all of that stuff. So no matter what, that you're bidding for profit. Because that is one of the main problems that I see.
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
So I'm super curious on your side. You used Bolt.new to build these.
Yeah.
Have you used any other platforms? Have you tried Lovable? Have you tried Cursor? Do you just stick with Bolt?
Yep. So I do have a Lovable account,
Yep.
and I do. I have tried Cursor. I stuck with Bolt. I'm not sure. Kind of like what I said in the beginning, Ford versus Chevy. It's just preference, I guess. I think what happened is I built a lot, probably 3 or 4 apps on Bolt before I kind of like dove into the other programs.
Yeah.
Like I have 25 live apps now, so it's like I'm gonna just keep Bolt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. You're already in it. You're already dug into it.
Yeah. I'm already in the quicksand, right?
Yeah.
But the good news is, if Bolt went away tomorrow, I'd be able to pick up on Lovable like that, because it is literally, it's the same interface.
Yeah.
Couple minor changes, but it's the same thing, same concepts, all of that.
That's it. That's so cool, dude. And when it comes to actually integrating it into the GoHighLevel account, you mentioned you put it into an iframe. How difficult is it actually to deploy this app to where it's actually live and functioning, and then put it into the GoHighLevel account?
You want me to do it real time real quick?
Go for it.
Okay, so this one isn't deployed yet, so I'm just going to deploy it. I just click the deploy button. What it's doing is it's saying deploy application to Netlify. Netlify is basically where these sites are hosted, right?
Right.
This will take a few seconds, and then I will show you exactly how to do a custom menu link. So really, I could be getting my coffee right now, put my kid to bed, whatever I need to do. Basically, what this is doing is getting this to Netlify, and it's going to give me kind of a sample URL. The URL is going to look goofy, but you do have the opportunity in Netlify to either connect it to a domain you already own or purchase a new domain.
Yep.
And that's super streamlined, super awesome. For the actual custom menu links themselves, I don't do that just because they're not seeing that itself. If I were to ever just share this as, like that bidding software is just the software, it'll have its own URL. So just like this, okay?
That's it.
This is it. So it's ready, it's deployed. So this is how I'm going to claim this, which means, hey, this is mine, right? This one down here, but this one right here, now if I click this is the site. I could send this to you right now. You'll be able to open this up, right? And it's ready to go. So what I do is I just copy this. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to pause real quick, and I'm going to stop my screen share and then go back into it. I'm in agency settings now, right? I just went to my agency account. I clicked on settings. You're going to come down here to custom menu links. Now, again, what this is going to do is it's going to prompt. So these are all the ones that I have live, right? So I have basically a new launchpad here, the bidding system, a social posting tool that I created, a rewards program for a business that I work with, all these things, right? And you can determine which account they're going to if you need to do that. So I'm going to go to create new. I get to do my own icon. So let's see here. I don't know, let's do something fun. Let's just do this guy, a video icon. I'll call this test for Skylar, right? So we're going to go test for Skylar. I'm going to copy. So remember that URL I copied? I'm going to paste it right here. It auto defaults to putting it in an iframe, right? So make sure that this is clicked. If this is clicked, when they click that menu link right here, it's going to open up a new window, right? Or it'll open in the current window but take you out of GoHighLevel. So make sure you have it on iframe. And then here's where you get to adjust whether you have it in the agency sidebar, which no, we don't really need that because it's not us that's using it, but it'll be in a sub-account sidebar. So what I'll do is I'm going to take a client, I'm going to put it in that sidebar right now. And then if you want the role visibility to be just the admin can see it, or all, or just the user. Normally I just do all, don't need to worry about microphone and camera on these, and then I press save. So the fun part now is I get to come up here, go into the sub account that I just added this into, and I could have done it to all of them if I wanted, but I'll be pulling this down right after. And that's it. That's all I did. So, I mean, I deployed it over here, right? Took this link that basically just opens up the application, went into my agency settings, went to custom menu links, and added it into here. And right down here, I have test for Skylar.
That's it.
I'm going to open this up, and here we are.
Wow, that's it. Done.
That's it. Yep.
Oh man, when people get their hands on this, they're going to go crazy. So the cool thing you mentioned too is that you can basically, for example, if one of your clients, right, they specifically wanted the bidding system, and maybe your other clients didn't, they don't need something like that, but one of your clients was very in particular, and they're like, we need a bidding system. How much is it going to cost? This is where you can almost start getting into the world of custom software development specifically for a client. So someone says, I need my own bidding system. It needs to be mine. You're like, cool. Not only will we put it into your account, but this is going to be a custom software specifically for your company. And now we can get into some big money.
Yeah. So those are the custom builds, man. And I do those as well. I'll briefly run through this and then I'll talk about webhooks briefly.
Cool.
If you're okay with it. But I have a fence measuring tool. I think that's the video you saw originally. But so picture what I just kind of walked over with you guys, but this is based upon their pricing. Okay. So this is embedded in their website, and it's actually the lead that's doing it. It's not them. So their lead is going to the website saying, oh, I can bid out my own fence. Cool. They're going to type in, they're going to find themselves on the map. They're going to, click where they want their fence, all that stuff. And then when they request the quote, the webhooks talk directly to the business owners, and they get an email saying, hey, you just sent out a quote for, $9,000 for a guy named Joe. This is his phone number. This is his email. This is his address. And they're created as a contact, and they're put into a pipeline.
Beautiful.
And I actually have what was it? Because we were testing it out just a few days ago, and I have a text message from this client, and I laughed because it's so perfect. It said, it was at like 9:30 at night on Monday. He says, was that last fence quote a test? I was like, I haven't touched that thing in like 3 days, so no.
Oh, beautiful. I mean? Beautiful.
Yeah. And he sent me over the screenshot of the email. I said, yeah, man, that's legit. Like, I'd call him.
Yeah.
So it's already doing that. So again, measure your deal. There's going to be a big ass fence, man.
That is a big fence. So this is the same app that you've basically already built, but now you've built it for their specific needs with their own numbers into it.
Because you can make a copy of these apps, right? So you can copy the apps, and then I basically stripped down a lot of information. I told Bolt to hold on to the meat and potatoes, and then I just branded it to them. So awesome. I cut down on so much work.
Yep.
So this fence is going to be 1,234 linear feet. You're going to see that it already populates here. They have a chance of either a 4 or 6 foot gate. Number of gates, we're going to put 3 gates in here. They're going to put their information in here, right?
Yep.
I'll blur they only have 2 types of fence material. And then right here, it'll be, I have a big ass dog. Right? So yeah. I'm going to have to tell my client that I'm testing this quick because he's going to get this. He's actually going to get this. So I press request quote. Okay. This is what's sent, right? Again, this is a big fence. That's why it says 40 grand.
Yeah.
But it also says project information. We will reach out to you within 24 hours. And then this is not your final quote. If I click here, it's going to call them. If I click here, it's going to email them. Now, those in real time, they just got an email. You know what I mean?
Your client sitting on the couch right now just got pinged on the phone.
An email with a $40,000 fence. They'll know it's a test, but then
right.
saying I have a test, all of that stuff. So you can do this for a lot of different services and just embedded this straight into their website. So now it's almost gamifying the leads and the prospects like experience with you.
Yeah.
Which is almost priceless.
100%. And now with the webhook, in short, you just took the information that somebody submitted from an outside page, an outside source of HighLevel, and now you've been able to send that information back to HighLevel.
Yep, and this is very easily done. It's in the automations. I'm sure Skylar or I would be able to walk you through it very quickly. Once you understand it, it's like, oh my gosh, right? So there's no API that's talking to HighLevel. This is all webhooks. So I take the name all the way down to the special requirements. I have those as custom fields, right? And then every time the action is taken, right, that webhook is sent over, and then that automation runs.
And that's it. So each
people
one of these
don't understand that. It is, a little difficult in the beginning, but when you get it, right, when you take the 5-10 minutes it takes to actually figure it out, there's no turning back, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I remember, if I remember correctly, when I was first kind of testing with doing webhooks, the way to get the actual URL for the webhook is by quite literally asking Bolt or Lovable or Cursor, whatever you're using. You can literally ask it, hey, I want to send information from this app to GoHighLevel via webhook. What's the URL I use to pass it to?
I'll just say it right here, man. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And if you don't want to ask Bolt and you want to save a credit, sure. I mean, you just go and you put in webhook in your automation and you're fine. Like it just creates it for you. But most of the work I do is not in HighLevel anymore. Most of the work I do is building the solution for the people who I serve. I'm basically building a bunch of solutions and just offering them to the people I serve. And that's where the money comes in, because this right here is custom tailored, right? They love this tool. And it's for them. This is for nobody else other than, S&P Lawn Care, right?
Right.
Based on their numbers, it is completely built for them. So think about that with anything. I mean, roofers, any type of home service, I mean, especially if it's outdoors, can utilize something like this.
Yeah. So with this being custom tailored, and you're saying that a lot of your client work now is shifting from, obviously you've already had a bunch of high-level clients, but now you're getting a whole bunch of work for clients that just want their own specialized, software to kind of be integrated with it, or they want their own kind of thing. So in the long term, there's tons of major software companies that are out there. How do you see that long-term kind of game plan? Let me rephrase that. How do you see the long-term game plan happening with all these major companies? And now we have all these, they quote unquote vibe coders where you can just spin up apps, because realistically you almost could rebuild GoHighLevel if you really wanted to. You could.
I'm sure there's
possible.
People working on that right now. I guarantee it.
100%. 100%.
I guarantee it. So to answer that question, there's a couple things, right? To hire a large development team, you're looking around $40,000 to $50,000, right?
Yep.
A little high, a little low, just depending on what you're asking for, right? My Bolt subscription, I have a $50 a month plan because I ran out of credits on the 20 real fast. I have the $50 a month plan, and then that overhead right there is super low, okay? But as far as speed and thought to product, like thought to MVP, right? It's almost instant, okay? So the bidding system, right? I took the idea that I had, put it in here, 40 minutes later, I had it tested, it was working, and it was in the custom menu link. So there are things that, these no code builders can't do, right?
Of course.
But you can honestly, you can do most of what you will ever need, in my opinion. And every day it surprises me somehow. Okay. Every day I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing, and then you're just going down that rabbit hole and seeing what you can do with this part of Bolt, right? I think that I don't necessarily think that we'll be taking the place of some of those larger companies, at least now, because this is still a really relatively new thing. And that's why if you're watching this, start now. Because now's the time to start. And if you don't frickin' start now, there's going to be people so far ahead of the game, right? That's why I pumped out 25 apps yet. I'm done. I have a portfolio. That way, when somebody comes, I can be like, here's my portfolio. What's up?
Yeah. Here's all the apps.
Yep. Here's everything I've built.
Yep.
And start. And you can have a free account too and mess around with it. But I don't think that the vibe coding is technically going to take place of those larger companies, because right now I do know there are some project size limits. I haven't reached those yet, but there are some back end things that we aren't able to do. But I don't think that's going to be for very long, honestly, because that Google just came out with their, what was it, Firebase Studio?
Yep, Firebase Studio. Yeah. They have agent to agent now. MCPs are out. It's a snowball effect right now, and it's almost like every single week, almost every other day, there's some kind of new enhancement or new tool that's coming out. It's going so fast right now.
I know, and so when I'm bored, this is my hobby. This is where I sit. This is where I sit. I have 3 screens. I have 1, 2, 3, and I just go. Yeah. And I think what I do is I think about a problem that I had when I was in my landscaping company, and I figure out a solution on how I can fix the problem that I had, because I know that people are having that problem today.
That's right.
Yeah. You talked about vibe coding. I wanted to this is just a little bit for fun.
Yeah.
If you have a Windows, if you hold down the window key and press H, we can just talk to it. I never even have to touch the keyboard, and I can just tailor it and say yes, send. That's vibe coding. Okay.
That's it.
Able to do that. Yeah.
So the big one, and honestly, I'm not 100% sure if this works on Windows. I'm pretty sure it is. But the major one right now is Whisper Flow. WISPR Flow. And that uses, I believe, OpenAI Whisper and some other stuff to where you can talk to it kind of the same way, but you can type into any kind of area, any area that's text, you can just type into it. So I have a couple buddies, and they've been quote unquote vibe coding apps where they literally will just sit there, twiddle on their phone, doom scroll, some brain rot, and they're just talking, and this thing's just coding it all for them. It's like, oh, there's a problem over here. Hey, can you go fix that? Hey, let's make the header green. He's just talking to it the whole time and building these apps.
Yep. And so that's exactly what it is. And, the whole vibe coding atmosphere, I think, is awesome. Yeah. Because I very well think that enough people, and I know it's already happening, but if enough people start actually implementing these tools that are literally almost free. I mean, I get excited when I think I've built 25 apps within 2 months at $50 a month, right? Not per app. No, just $50, right?
Yeah.
And I've been able to make a very good living for myself doing that. And I don't have any tech background, right? I didn't go to school for any of this. This is all self-taught. This is all self-taught stuff because I wanted to learn, so I learned, and then I figured it out. And now I'm able to just go. You know what I mean? So if you want to build it, you can build it. You literally talk to this thing just like any chat GPT, and it'll be like, yeah, man, I got you. And then it'll just spit it out. And you say, change the background. I don't like the text, whatever. I really want, it to look or have this vibe. You can screenshot something and it can go straight to it. Yeah. Discussion mode's great. For discussion mode here, I can talk to it it won't make a change right away, but it'll say like, hey, here's a plan that we could implement. Do you like it? Right?
It's like we were talking about though, is like stuff is rapidly changing so fast. And I feel like even when I first got into like the high level world, which was 2022-ish. So I mean, it's been about 2 or 3 years I've been in high level.
Yeah.
And it was like getting into the software world. I think a lot of people look at it as a very difficult thing. And then stuff like ClickFunnels, high level, they make it easy for people to be able to use software and then be able to resell it as their own to make that MRR. But now with this coming in, it's like, I still think there's so many people on the fence that are thinking like, oh no, there's no way I can build an app. They're seeing other people doing it. They know it's possible. But
physically right now.
Yeah, they think that this requires a lot of coding knowledge because, I mean, to be honest, anyone who doesn't understand code, when they start seeing all the code trickle down, they're like, oh God, I can't read that. But it doesn't matter because once it spits it out, you're literally just chatting to it, like you said, like with ChatGPT, and you're asking it questions and changing things on the app. And don't worry about the code, especially if you're just building something like an idea or an MVP. It just does it. Yeah, go rip it. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm just going to rip one quick, and this is going to show you like what it looks like when it starts from idea to something. And this isn't no thought behind this, so I don't know how this is going to come out. But build me a landing page.
I mean, you can do just like a client page. So you say like build a modern, landscaper website.
There you go.
With
let's do that.
Black and green color scheme. And just see what it spits out. And you can get really detailed with these prompts, but if you're just starting out, you can literally just do this. Boom.
So now, Skylar, what you were talking about, it's going to do its little thing, and now on the right-hand side, it's going to get really confusing for a lot of people for about, 15 seconds. So I thought for 7 seconds, it's creating the core features, it's designing all of the elements, it has my greens, it has all the hex values, everything. Now it's coding, right? This is when it turns into like, okay, this is a lot. But you don't have to worry about it because this is doing it for you. And if it's wrong, or say we get the preview and it doesn't look right, we just say it doesn't look right.
Yep.
And it fixes it for us, right? So, I mean, I do agree with you. So a few days ago, I saw a Facebook ad about a company, right? And I won't say who they are. I think it's a great Facebook ad. And they're calling out Lovable too. And they're saying, we use Lovable and we will build you your MVP within 48 hours and we will have it live to you. And it's $3,500. People are laughing at it, like, oh, whatever. And I think that, and I've commented on everyone that I've seen, and I said, this is an amazing offer.
It is.
They're like, why? It's only $50 for the subscription. I'm like, yeah, so why aren't you doing it? Because I would, if I did not know how to do this, I would physically pay someone $3,500 to build me something if I needed it right now.
Exactly.
That is an amazing offer. I think it is. Anyway, and that's the first one that I've seen. I'm like, they're going to start just pouring in, dude.
Oh, there's going to be so many. There's going to be 10Ks, 15Ks, 1-day turnarounds. And a really cool thing is like, so we're looking at like, realistically, like the apps that you've created and like even doing this landing page, they're very simple apps that require a little bit of time. But like you said, it took 40 minutes. But like there's apps out there or like even things that I've kind of worked on where if you put a week into an app and, if you really want to get into it and really build something powerful and like whatever you want to do, you can do a little bit of research. You can look into other APIs and hook different tools together.
Yeah. And
you can build something really, really, really cool.
So I was actually talking to my client prior to the podcast tonight and we're on an NDA right now. So I'm not able to. Otherwise, I totally would have shown it, but I can't. But it's this one, the one that we're working on right now, it's been about 2 weeks. And I mean, I'm putting in probably 2 hours a day on it.
Yep.
And this thing, once it comes out, it's going to be fire. Like it is going to be, and this is for him who also does high-level SaaS. So this is for his business, right? That's why it's hush hush until he's able to come out with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the stuff that I previewed for you, yeah, extremely simple, but solves a problem.
That's right.
And tell me, 5 years ago, last year, this time, this wasn't possible. We couldn't do this.
Not even close. Not even close. Yeah.
And that's why when I saw it, I said, I have to do this now. I have to jump on it, because knowing what you guys, once you figure out the custom menu link thing that I just showed you how to do, solve a problem, go get a free Lovable or a free Bolt account. Like now, put the problem that you wish, like, oh, GoHighLevel just doesn't have this. I really wish it did. I could sell the hell out of this thing if it had it. Build that in this, and then add it as a custom menu link.
Done.
I'll go sell the hell out of it. And just be done, right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely my solution there.
All the features that, because GoHighLevel's great. GoHighLevel's an amazing platform. But if you go look at like the ideas board, there's hundreds, if not at least 1,000 ideas in there. I'm just saying, I'm not saying, you didn't hear it from me. But if you want to just go to ideas.gohighlevel.com and just go through all the posts in there, I guarantee somebody here could pull out a $5,000 project just by looking at those and then emailing people that maybe voted on it, or like find those people and be like, hey, I built that thing you were looking for.
Yeah. Like screenshot their comment, say, hey, this thing, I built it, here it is.
Yeah.
And the other thing, so when I was talking about solving problems, I'm not necessarily talking about always solving my clients' problems, like the landscapers or the people we give our software to. It's people in the GoHighLevel community that need help too.
Yeah.
So just doing that, going into the ideas, saying, yeah, this thing's been upvoted, 1,000 times, dude. I gotta build this. Build it. And if you build it, they will come. Like it's 100% they will. And this is actually straight up. This landing page better look legit, because it's taken a little bit.
Look at everything it's doing.
I know.
Services section, service card, project section, testimonial section. And then scroll up.
CPA section, footer, homepage, all of it.
Scroll up a little bit on that side window. And it gave you that bullet point list of everything it's going to do.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So we're still waiting on the initial preview is what he's saying. It thought for 7 seconds to come up with the core features, right? This is the bullet points, the design elements, right? And now this is it actually kind of going down the list, writing all of this, and that's what you're seeing on the right-hand side, right? And again, if I were to be doing this for a client, I would be just putting my kids to bed, and then by the time I come back here, I'm going to have this ready to go. Now, compared to like funnel builders or website builders, the drag and drops, far outweighs it. I think no matter what, the quality definitely outranks just the drag and drops, the standard drag and drops. And this is where our landing pages are coming from. And we just connect the checkout buttons to a checkout step in GoHighLevel. And so then everything's recorded in GoHighLevel. It can go through the automations and do everything without having to set up webhooks. You can do whatever you want to do. If you can think it, and this is the scary thing, Skylar, like we're at a spot right now. We're at like the cusp, right?
Yeah.
If you can think it, you can more than likely do it with something like this.
Dude, I mean, to be completely honest, I think we're there. I try and explain to people that the ideas that keep you up at 2 a.m., you have a problem, and you just click attempt to fix.
Yeah. So I have a problem. It was doing a lot, and I kind of assumed that was going to happen, but I just clicked attempt to fix. This is showing terminal errors. These are really common that come through. I just did attempt to fix, and it's just going to go through and fix those errors. Sometimes you're going to have that a few times in a row, but if you're consistent, you will get what you need, right? What were you saying before that error popped up?
Yeah. No, I want people to understand that, like, if there is an error, it will literally go through and it will fix them all for you.
Let's do it right now.
Yeah, no,
I've been paying attention to it.
I try to explain to people these no code editors that have come out, no matter what it is that you use. But when I try to explain to people like how does this work or like why do we need to use this, entrepreneurial people, brain's always running. Like I'm sure you're up at 2 a.m. and you constantly you're like, oh, this would be a really cool thing. Or like, oh, I wish this app existed that did X, Y, Z. This is we now have the tools to be able to just, hey, I want to build this app that does X, Y, and then it looks like this, and this is how it works. And then within whatever, it might take a day, it might take a week, and then done. You now have this idea is built. There you go.
Like, here's my idea, right? And obviously that is a background picture, but
I love it.
These things. So I also want to point out that there's still a problem, but we have a preview. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is what this did for us, right? It built us this. I mean, it's a website, right? We can edit these photos. We can put videos in here. This is all just stock stuff from Splash or Unsplash. But I could physically, right, just edit this and say, hey, make sure that my information's in there. I could just fix this problem, deploy it, and then I'd be good, right?
Yeah.
I would physically be good. That is how quick we can do these things. So request a consultation. I mean, we basically gave the AI to basically build whatever it wanted. And this is what it came out with, and it was pretty damn good, right? One thing, and Lovable is a little bit better than Bolt on this when it comes to adding images and video. The best way to do it on Bolt is to prompt Bolt to create a public images folder and a public videos folder. And then what you can do is click on the code over here and you just drag it. So like here, right? We would physically drag it and drop it into the folder and say, okay, use this image for there. So I know Lovable's a little bit more streamlined with their images. You can kind of just pop it in and say, use this. Bolt's not as much, but again, diehard Bolt. I got 25 of them. So I can't go back now.
A good trick is real quick on the images for anyone else that wants to put images in. If you go into your GoHighLevel account, you have media storage. So you can go upload your photos or videos or whatever you want into a folder in maybe your main sub account's media folder, and then grab the URL, just hit copy link, and then give that to Bolt or Lovable and say, hey, swap out the image on the header, right? We have a baby image there right now. Yeah. So swap out the header image with this URL, and then you paste in your URL, and now you have control of where your images are. And that's just a way around it if you don't want to just upload them, but it works fairly well. That's another way to do it.
That's a great workaround too, because that's that share link. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
I also, if you're not doing it that way, do a WebP format.
Yeah.
It just kind of loads a lot better.
Yeah.
But these are the things that if you start doing this, you're going to learn, and you're going to learn quickly. You might get frustrated in the beginning, but once you finally have something, you're going to say, hey guys, look what I've built. And you're going to be proud as hell.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about being up at 2:00 in the morning, right? And like, God, I wish I could build this, right? Yesterday, this happened last night. Everybody else was sleeping. I wasn't tired. It was probably around 11:30 midnight. And I was like, I'm going to build my dad a chess game. And I did. And I'll just show that to you really quick. So it was just like, I love my dad. He needs to see this.
Yeah.
I want to build him a dedication, right? And I built him a chess game, sent it to him last night at, this one took me probably 25 minutes. But it's a physical chess game that works. It's got a little dedication to him. Sent him the URL, and he just lost his mind. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's probably wild for him to see that.
Yeah, so here it is right here. So Halloran's chess. It's a little note to my dad, and then it's a chess game, right? White's turn. Okay, black's turn. White's turn.
Does the other side automatically make moves?
So I haven't created that part yet, but
okay.
I did get all the math on the, on the move history correct. This was actually really easy to do because there's a doc that shows you exactly what move can happen. And I uploaded that in ChatGPT. I told it to format it so Bolt would understand it. did that. And then I played a game of chess with myself.
Yeah.
It works like a
Perfect.
So the next thing would be in this application, right? Connecting this to ChatGPT to where I'm actually playing against ChatGPT. Is how that would work. So then my dad, I called him this morning and I said, hey, what'd you think? And he's like, that's cool. We should make it so we can play against each other. So when I'm not, doing other things, I will be working on that and, get a notification when he makes a move and vice versa. So
cool.
Sometimes it can be a little play and not work too.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, I think with the power that the AI tools have today, I mean, you're right. We're already kind of there. If we have the idea, we can build it. And if you can't build it yourself, get a team of people, right? I mean, get people who are good with webhooks and APIs, and talk to them and say, hey, can you help me with this? Because there's so many people out there that just want to help, make awesome things.
That's right. I mean? Yeah. Right on, dude. No, that was awesome. And I appreciate you giving a ton of insight into kind of what you have going on and just how cool all these new tools are, man. It's amazing to see. And I mean, you're already killing it. Obviously it's awesome having, a client base and you being in the industry with your own business. You knew exactly what the problems were that they needed to solve. Because you're like, God, these people struggle so much with trying to figure out, getting quotes, or if there's a better way you can intake leads, which is you built basically the app. They can get their whole quote right there on the spot. Yep. And you just went out and built it instead of paying quite literally these things would take $12,000, $20,000. And all day. Yeah. And they take forever. They take forever. So that's it.
So
now you can just build yourself.
Too, I want people to realize, so we all know what a lead magnet is, right? We send people a lead magnet.
No.
Okay. There is no more, I don't want anybody watching this video to send out another checklist. All right, I'm sorry, but checklists aren't sexy.
Oh, man.
Don't do a checklist. I don't want to see any more white paper. I don't want to see PDF stuff. If you're going to do it, make it look and feel nice for them to hold on to. Because if you can do that, and for example, I send out that, not the bidding tool, but I send out the measuring tool, just the map portion as a lead map to everybody who comes in my door. Say, hey, have fun with it. Hey, have fun with it. And it's not a template. It's not a spreadsheet. If you're sending out spreadsheets, send them to me so I can at least convert them for you so it looks like you know what you're doing. But for real, there's no reason why lead magnets should suck. Okay? If you can build these, you should be able to pump out any kind of lead magnet you want. And it doesn't have to be, it can take 10 minutes to build it. And that's all you need. Take the spreadsheet that you have that is the game changer for your clients and just give it to Bolt and say, hey, build me this. And the crazy thing is it's going to build it for you. Test it, then deploy it, and then put that link in to the emails that you send out. When they open it, they're going to see that and it's going to feel nice. And then that psychology of, man, if this is the free shit, I wonder what the paid stuff is like.
That's a crazy idea. If I was a company and you were trying to pitch me and you sent me whatever, basically the quote program you made, and it had my logo on the page already, and it already whatever, you already hook it up to where it auto sends the email to the person's inbox. They just demo it, right? They try it, and then it automatically sends the email to their own inbox.
Oh, by the way, check your email.
Yeah. Hey, now go check your email, and it's right there. They're gonna be like, okay, how much?
Super, exactly.
Yeah, how much? Exactly. Let's go.
That tool took 40 minutes, right? And I mean, if you take the time, you can even automate getting the logo in that location. You can just make a copy, automate. When you upload a logo, there's so many ways to make an insane amount of money with this. And and that would just be the lead magnet.
Yep, that's it.
And if this was the free stuff, I wonder what that paid stuff is like. You know what I mean? Because you got to get in their heads. The only way I was ever able to get into 1,200 plus landscapers' heads, number one, being in that position prior did help. But if you can speak their language, right, and you can give away your best stuff for free, you will never go hungry. Give away your best stuff.
Yeah.
And don't ask for nothing. Hey, take it, use it. Let me know if you have any questions. But don't be stingy and send out a checklist of like, no. I would never open up an email that said, here's a checklist. No, it sounds stupid.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
So, I mean, there's no more checklists for me as far as lead magnets, man. I mean, if I'm building a lead magnet, and I do build lead magnets for other people, it's all within Bolt. It's all with a no-code builder, and they're blown away every time it comes out, and then their clients love it, right?
Yeah.
So whether you're a tech genius or you're just getting started, man, like you do not need a full dev team to launch something like powerful anymore. You don't. So just like start small, think niche, and use the tools that we have to our disposal, and you will be just fine.
It's awesome, man. Right on, dude. I appreciate you. Thank you for, explaining everything to a lot of these people. We're going to probably find this really interesting.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man.
I had a really good time.
Right on, dude. Thank you.